Oh, they changed Red Bull. That's disappointing. Well, maybe whatever beverage company produces Red Bull pay Square Enix enough for their to advertise them in the game. Oh, it's just called Red Bull? Okay. That makes it easy to remember. Alright, so force the skeleton, counter this. I'm trying to do the manipulation route from memory. I feel like this is one of the easier spots to get to do something. Arrow number. And this guy just doesn't. So I have to fight some bandits that are threatening my town. Step clear. Yeah, exactly. I used to think that the idea was that the bandits had kidnapped the Shield King's fiance, but we didn't. But they forgot to actually draw the fiance in this cutscene. But yeah, that's I learned that that's not correct. That it's just that the bandits are threatening, but haven't actually done anything too bad yet. Alright, let's see how good this time. Whether he punches the Red Bull one or two times. Good. That's what I. Hey, Midland Dweller, welcome in. I did some resting and practice in case this ends up being needed for RPG Limit Break in a couple weeks. Alright. Nothing happened to Lufia 2, I'm just, working on this weekend instead. Back to Lufia 2 next weekend. I was never going to do Lufia 2 for Limit Break. I'm hoping I can get good enough at it to submit it to next year's Limit Break. For this year, I had 2 runs accepted for backups. This one and then Legend of Mana, although that I may back up a runner instead of the whole game being backup. Realistically, I feel like if I need to play something, it's going to be this game, because playing Legend of Mana would require that runner who is doing the run for the event has to withdraw for some reason. Given that he's going to be running remotely instead of actually coming to the event, that feels very unlikely. It starts October 16th. Full week. It's until after the next fight. Okay, so I was supposed to swap. Oh, nice, sorry, that's what I like. Please do sleep to healthy amounts, though. There's always VODs for you have to miss. That's where the manipulation route ends. Hey, Omni. Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for the luck. Things are doing alright in Omniland. It's good. Say better busy than bored. Second of 2 practice runs of this, which is a backup game for RPG Limit Break. At a 109 on the first run, and this one is on a better pace at this point. Better time. Hey, nice, got it again. Very lucky to have the octopus walk away from its spawn point fast enough for it to actually save time over just walking around. Yeah, the save and reloads in this game are a lot faster than in the sequels. Like, for whatever reason, Final Fantasy Legend 3 actually does not have a built-in soft reset. I mean, you can still save anywhere like the other games, but if you want to reset and reload, you actually have to reset the console. Oh, Overswarm, thank you very much for the raid, sir. Stream went well. Congrats on the pretty solid Big 20 time too. On watch. Oh, the Biggie's up in Mega Man 2, nice. I'm glad that has a more consistent setup now, because I remember that used to be a huge run killer. Oh yeah, I bet that feels really good. Ooh, Crystallis glitchless. Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see that too. Excuse me. I imagine there'll be a lot of science required with that, as far as figuring out how to make effective use of the warp boots you can afford without the shop glitch. You found a more consistent setup when you were... Oh, no, wow, nice. Like, a setup that no one else has ever done before? Oh, so it sounds like kind of a buffer type setup. Yeah, it's what I always like to hear as far as kind of really either frame perfect or close tricks. Getting some kind of buffer set up to make them easy, or at least not difficult. Just about to reset when I saw that the human with the grenades got unparalyzed. To it dying by this point in the music, but have an extra turn because of paralysis. Yeah, poor Sabera who never, who either just gets completely skipped or just gets obliterated because of fighting her at endgame levels. Is the second vampire gonna be much to talk about in Glitchless? Barely even remember that boss, if it's pretty much just the same as Vampire 1, or is anything different about it? Oh, it's literally the same boss, okay. So, nothing, in other words. Brief math puzzle here to get the next sphere. Mostly the same as any percent or like 100% or something, because I'd assume in glitchless you'd be actually getting the teleport spell, which I thought like any percent skips completely. Ah, okay, gotcha. So kind of like any percent, although still totally the same. Yeah, I kind of vaguely remember that too. That that even if you're actually doing the Evil Spirit Island in story order, you'd still be doing the jellyfish grind for the levels you need. Because skills in Severa's dungeon be worth it. Welcome in, everybody. And some practice runs of the Final Fantasy Legend, which is it's a game I picked up a couple years ago for a 12-hour challenge, and then had a pretty decent time at for the no saw skill category. And it's on the backup games list for RPG Limit Break, which is a charity speedrun marathon I help organize. It's all about RPGs. It's coming up starting on October 16th at twitch.tv/RPG Limit Break, so do some derust and practice for that. And I guess as far as what the saw skill is too, for anyone not familiar with this game. It's a skill that's it's not really a glitch per se but it's more just kind of a really buggy and overpowered skill where it's an attack that will kill any enemy that's stronger than you. I mean, likely the way it was intended to work is that it would kill enemies weaker than you, but instead it kills stuff that's stronger than you, and that includes bosses, and that also includes the final boss. So in a run that does use the saw skill, you're one-shotting almost everything. Yep, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened, TNT Dynamite. And the reason why I'm save scumming so aggressively to avoid random encounters, at least that I can't instantly run from, is just because this game has a kind of pseudo-perma-death system where if you have characters die, it doesn't cost money to revive them, but you're only able to revive characters under normal means 3 times before they're just flat out dead. And that is something I take advantage of because you can use that system to swap out dead characters for stronger ones, but it also means that because of the permadeath system, it's a lot faster and more consistent past a certain point in the run to just use the in-game save system to deal with the encounters rather than actually fighting them. Get the mosquito meat stray. So even though this game is called The Final Fantasy Legend, it's really the first game in the Saga series. Like if you've heard of like Romancing Saga or Saga Frontier, this is actually the first game in that series. But when it released outside Japan, it got renamed to Final Fantasy Legend to try to boost sales. If I get really lucky, I can get a Saber Cat meat drop here, which I got. Nice. That completely removes the possibility of me losing time on the next required fight to because if I didn't get the Saber Cat meat from that fight, which is pretty rare actually to get it, I'd have to reset over on the next one if I do not get it. It's a lot more likely to drop on the next fight, but not happening is very real ability. Because this game doesn't have traditional levels or experience points like most other RPGs of its era. The way you get stronger is dependent on what race your characters are, and then for monsters, which are what I use for most of this run, you get stronger by eating meat dropped by other monsters that you kill. Evolves you into stronger monster forms. Also humans and mutants. And later Saga games also introduce cyborgs and robots. Yeah, there's very, very little about the evolution system actually explained in the game itself, but I mean, yeah, there's definitely good resources out there for understanding it. Game FAQs and probably like the Final Fantasy wiki. Yeah, monsters I believe do all have stats. See if you look at them in the menu screen. It's a good thing I already got the saber cat meat drop, because if I didn't, the previous fight to rescue Jean, then I would have had to reset there until I do get it. One of the bigger sources of RNG in this run, too, if I'm going for a PB, is how many attempts it takes to get some of the meat drops that aren't guaranteed. I'm having my jelly skill called Bother here, which is it's an agility debuff, and I don't actually care about debuffing this enemy's agility, but I'm just using it to burn Jelly's turn without actually using one of its melt skill charges, which I need to save for a later fight. All weapons and special attacks in this game have a finite number of times that you can use them before if it's a weapon, it breaks and you have to buy a new one, or if it's a skill, you have to stay at an inn. Somebody just died. We eventually need to get the two humans in my third and fourth slots killed off to get replaced, but I don't want them to die before the boss here. The word man will come in. Five imps. I was having the number of enemies in some weird fights is random. The fact there were that many of them was a little problematic. Alright, later, sorry, thanks for stopping by. I'm not interested in the Soul Blazer randomizer. It just doesn't really look interesting to me mostly just because of how long it is compared to just doing a run of Soul Blazer game. Like I actually have some time to save on this segment, but that will not be happening here. Having to reset a couple times in the last imp fight. Hey Jimmy, thank you very much for the raid. Thanks for the raid. You have yourself a good night. Hope the Gaiden 2 or whatever you're up to tonight went well. And everybody from some practice runs of a game that I have on backup list for RPG Limit Break in a couple weeks. Kind of bite-sized length run of a one of the first RPGs on the original Game Boy, the Final Fantasy Legend. I guess there's no monsters in this tunnel all of a sudden. So hopefully the ant kills the other human. Happen though. There we go. Alright, perfect. If both of the humans aren't dead after that Adam Ants fight, then I just use the overworld encounters with Suzaku to finish the job. Yeah, it's something I get fairly often if I'm running either this or one of the other Final Fantasy Legend games on Game Boys. Comparisons to the early Pokemons. None of which I've played, but I mean, I guess just by virtue of just being a top-down turn-based RPG on the original Game Boy, I mean, definitely worth some points for similarity. Getting really lucky with the encounters all of a sudden. This one. So much trouble remembering which shop is which in this town. That was a pretty good trip, first trip to ROM and the board. Oh, there probably is. Are in the world of Akira, whether Squaresoft admits it or not. Way, way, way more blatant in the Japanese version of this too, that we're in post-apocalyptic Tokyo world. This is the last really trolly meat drop. Got it first try, excellent. Might be a gold split in the making if I don't have any real issues with Cormac. Hey, Icy, welcome in. This is gonna be a really nice gold, actually. Dang, actually ahead too. That was a really good segment. It's the slimes that took all the damage from Warpack. I don't need to worry at all about my health going into the Suzaku fight when we get there. Oh, thanks, AC. Things are still gonna need to go pretty well to actually have a shot at a PB, but getting past the Evil Eye meat drop and being ahead is a really good step in that direction. Now that was me with the third game in this series. Played a lot of that on family road trips as a kid. Oh, thanks, Ziggy Pigster. Appreciate it. Here you're enjoying. Well, if you were actually able to beat this game as a kid, then you definitely got my respect. Not sure I could have, because of just... I don't think I could have really figured out the evolution system. Oh, second one, okay. But I mean, that's still the same thing. I mean, I've heard like Venus especially was a pretty big problem for a lot of people playing this casually. That's kind of the first really big choke point, where if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna get stuck. Yeah, I can see that with Apollo too, especially with the gimmick where he's invincible, like 5 turns or so until the music changes. At least for most types of attacks. Hey, Elisara, welcome in. The all-stairs floor here. A weird dungeon in a lot of ways. Yeah, or the cell phone reception room. Now, there is a collection of the Legend games on Steam and on the Switch now. And there's a collection of the Mana games that includes Final Fantasy Adventure that's on Switch only. I haven't played either of them, but I've kind of seen enough to know that, I mean, they're good. They're just decent ports of all of these games to be played on modern platforms. Really add a whole lot of bells and whistles. Though I know for the Final Fantasy Legend games, the collection gives you a speed up. The reason I'm periodically pausing and saving the game is that I can reset and reload if I get a bad encounter and can't run away right away. That just for the route and strategies I'm using, doing this is just faster and more consistent than actually fighting the encounters and having to deal with taking damage and possibly having characters die. It's not even really safer strat so much as just with the route that I'm using. I have to do that, or else I'm just eventually going to run out of HP and healing potions and just not be able to finish the game. Alright, saved a little more time. Well, I guess we'll see what Ashura in the endgame has to say now as far as BB might be on the table. But, oops, looks like I'm very close to my gold for Ashura as far as what I'm up against, and I can lose a pretty big chunk of time on that fight if it doesn't go well. Like if I get a lot of bad encounters like this, pretty much guaranteed to already be losing time to Ashura now, regardless of how the actual boss fight goes. That set of encounters there. encounters I've been getting literally on the step I'm about to save. I like to save when I turn corners and stuff, so that if I have to reload, I'll know which direction to be holding. Alright, I think that was step 1 and step 3, so I should be in for a nice long walk without encounters. Kill anyone in the first turn, so that's good as far as me being able to actually win, but now what I really want to see is for Ashura to kill the Chimera and the Jelly. Alright, they're good with Jelly. There's the Chimera, alright, so good. As long as I get some... As long as both the Jelly and the Chimera, I get like between them like 3 attacks off, then I should definitely be able to gold apparently. Alright. Yeah, hopefully be back to Lufia next weekend. I like doing this instead tonight. Completed our final evolution to become a beholder. Behold things. Hopefully we'll be beholding a bee in about minutes. And the remaining 3 Fiend refights are conveniently not immune to petrification. Yeah, there's a lot of really obtuse mechanics in this game, in particular with the monster evolution system. Same for the latter games in this series too. That's why I'm always a little kind of cautious about recommending these games, because kind of have to either be someone that's just okay with having to do a lot of trial and error experimentation to figure out how to succeed, or be okay with looking at FAQs and resources like that to help you figure it out. Well, in this game's credit, it did come out in a time where the idea of killing God was still somewhat original for RPGs. Yeah, me neither. I beat Legend 3 as a kid pretty much completely without any kind of help, but I mean that game can level up through grinding if you need to. Case in this game. Yeah, I mean, you have to go so long without have any kind of access to healing resources at this point. Definitely pretty hard casually. Hey! Not bad at all. Heck yeah. Wow, a 104 skip too. Just actually looking at the time now. Thanks for the GGs there, buddy. Well, I'm definitely glad I was local recording, just in case. Got some really god luck, which definitely happened in this run with all those golds in the second half. So these are these are just so weird, such weird splits too, being over a minute behind after Byakko, and then not only coming back from that, but just wrecking the end game too. I feel like just I owe so much of that time save in the last two worlds to just good luck with encounters as far as getting into good step routes coming out of resets, and then getting a lot of first try fleas too. I mean, I was already happy with my PB before this, as far as the time at least. So, but yeah, this is just gonna be weird splits to run against future. If I do want to try to seriously beat this time, though, I feel like I'm really gonna have to look into potentially some better manipulation for the early game. I can actually do manipulation before I away from it. Thanks again for the GGs there, but see you again.